Short films and indie films can get a bad rap within the horror community. People say that new ideas are hard and getting your ideas off the ground can be expensive. But I'm here to bring you some hope. I know a lot of you guys are the kind of creatives that would one day love to make their own short film. So I've teamed up with the 15-second horror film challenge to bring you guys some solid and practical advice from the filmmakers themselves. The 15-second film challenge is a non-profit filmmaking contest in which the filmmakers get creative to make a 15-second horror film. The challenge asks celebrity judges to decide top films and conventions screen the greatest hits. Best of all, it's international and it's free. Hopefully this video will give you a better idea of what it actually takes to make a short film, some cold hard truths, the hustle. The hustle is very important. And of course, some inspiration. So let's get the ball rolling. Action. I'm sorry, I had to. Oh my God, shut up.
So many people would rather just like throw down 20 bucks, go to a big budget theater, watch something that doesn't matter and forget about it. And I think that once in a while that's fine, but for everyone else who's really wanting to find something that they care about, something that they think about often, I think that going to independent film festivals is the best solution. You will absolutely find something that you've never seen before, that you are obsessed with when you go. In a sea of remakes and a world of sequels, finding an original idea from a filmmaker who's put their blood, sweat, and tears into something is really incredible.
I think that horror films are kind of like the equivalent to what punk rock is for music. It's the sort of more aggressive, alternative, violent side of the art form. And I think that viewers can also vent these emotions through watching films of that genre.
I think horror is a wonderful vehicle to tell your story. I think that so many movies that we consider a great horror are really about other things that we don't really pay attention to. I mean, some of these are kind of obvious, but you know, The Babadook is obviously a movie about processing grief. Annihilation is about cancer. Heredity is about mental illness. Godzilla was a movie about the fear of nuclear destruction. It's incredible.
That underlying idea of what it is that really terrifies people is written into the fabric of the horror genre.
You can take regular kind of ideas and you can turn them into horror movies. You know, you can be funny with them, you can be, you know, really creepy with them, you can kind of mix that genre. There's just a lot of areas that you can explore, and that's, you know, what I love about it.
My first on-set experience, like that of many others, was absolutely a disaster. I was working as a first AD for someone whose name I will not speak of. It was a very shoddy production, had a lot of inappropriate behavior on set, so much so that I had to cut ties entirely with the project because it did not align with my own values.
So my actual first ever set experience was painting a wall. I never knew how to paint a wall before, and I don't think I was credited in the movie. I've never seen the movie, so that experience really taught me that just a lot of hard work is necessary when it comes to making a film. Honestly, that's a great thing to learn right out of the gate because so much of filmmaking is heavy lifting and paperwork, and it's not always sunshine and happiness.
My first on-set experience was kind of bizarre because I've been doing a lot of shoots by myself, sort of friends, and the first professional shoot I was on, I was sort of startled by the fact of how similar it was to the things that I'd been doing. You know, when you're shooting by yourself or you're shooting with friends, you just stick lights onto walls, or you just jerry-rig together the camera on a skateboard or whatever, and you think, oh well, you know, one day you'll be working on a proper production where you have equipment and you have, you know, resources, and then you get to a proper shoot and you realize, or like a bigger budgeted production, you realize they're all doing the exact same thing.
The biggest lesson that I've learned from working on films is that anything you do is always going to take a lot longer than you think it's going to take. I know from personal experience that I'll come up with ideas of things to shoot that seem so simple and that should only take 10 minutes to film. Everything always takes at least an hour. That's just a rule of thumb that I know now. You always have to allow for a lot more time than you think everything is going to take.
I think the absolute most important thing about the filmmaking process to me is the research. You gotta do the work. I think that being able to talk about something completely coherently and freely means that you're ready to make a movie about it. I personally really like improv on my sets, and so feeling comfortable with my actors that we know the scenario that's going on and we know how our characters react would make it so much more realistic. It just gives you so much more depth if you've done the proper research.
Biggest and most important thing I've learned from working on films, I would say, would be professionalism and, just realizing you have to change things at the last second. You can't plan everything. So, you can have a shot list, have everyone ready, have everything planned out, and then the last possible second, someone could back out, weather could change, equipment could fail.
I think the most important part of the filmmaking process to me is knowing that it's an organic sort of medium that develops as you work on it. It's never going to be what you imagine it on the first day, and it's never going to be what you write, and it's never going to be how you storyboard everything. Things are going to change whilst you're writing, things are going to change on the day on shoot, things are going to change in the editing, and you need to be okay and let that be a part of the film that you're making, and know that it's not set in stone the day you come up with the idea. It's always moving, it's always developing.
The most important part of the filmmaking process, I would say, is the writing, because you really want to have a solid script before you go into making something. You want to make sure that it's the best it can be. You don't want to just rush it, get feedback, try to, edit it to be a little better, because things, can always be better even if you think they're done. And then I would say also just, the community. Just really important part is just getting along with people and finding people that work well together, because not one person makes a movie, a lot of people make a movie.
I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in filmmaking so far is the importance of collaboration. Being able to find a group of people that you feel comfortable with is amazing. It doesn't even feel like you're working at that point. It's just a group of friends who are really excited to make something together.
Midnight snack, midnight snack. What really attracted me to the 15-second film festival is the fact that it's such a short period of time to try and get an idea across. You have to try and, especially with a horror movie, you really want to try and sort of show your audience one thing and then trick them at the last second, or show them something else at the last second. And to get that build up to try and get a scare is just super tricky. And I find that really fun and a really good challenge.
What attracted me to the 15-second film horror challenge was just what you can tell and convey in 15 seconds. I mean, it's such a short time. I had no idea how challenging it would be. And it was so fun because, I would, just frame by frame, this little frame I don't need. Wait, that's too quick. I should put that frame back and then cut this frame. You're literally editing, just little frames, one frame at a time.
It's honestly one of my favorite film festivals. It's a really great personal exercise in being able to write something in 15 seconds. I think that in, commercials where you have 30 seconds, a minute, being able to prove that you can do it in 15 is really, really cool. I think a really common misconception about indie filmmaking is that the films are bad and they're not worth watching. Obviously that's not true. So many people would rather just throw down 20 bucks, go to a big budget theater, watch something that doesn't matter and forget about it. And I think that once in a while that's fine, but for everyone else who's really wanting to find something that they care about, something that they think about often, I think that going to independent film festivals is the best solution. You will absolutely find something that you've never seen before, that you are obsessed with when you go. In a sea of remakes and a world of sequels, finding an original idea from a filmmaker who's put their blood, sweat, and tears into something is really incredible.
One of the biggest misconceptions about independent filmmakers is that the quality of work that they put forward is less than that of the multi-million-dollar movies that you see in multiplexes. This couldn't be further from the truth. There's a lot of big budget films with a lot of A-list celebrities in them that are absolutely terrible. And there are a lot of independent films that have low budgets and no-name actors in them that are leagues above in terms of substance.
A great blender, check this out.
And look at that cut!
Oh my god. And what a cut that is.
Order now, 1-800-WONDER.
What I would say to aspiring filmmakers would be to just come up with new material, do something different, challenge the audience, be bold, be creative, be disturbing, be strange.
But I think the best advice that I could give to aspiring filmmakers is to just make your movies. I think you should hop a fence, kidnap a friend, ignore permits, film strangers, doesn't matter, just make it happen, make your movies.
Don't let anyone tell you that your ideas are bad. I think you have to figure that out for yourself. I've definitely made films that I thought were great ideas, and people around me have told me that I'm wrong. Later, at the end of the day, they said, you know what, you're right, that was a good idea. But there have also been other films that I've made that I thought were a great idea, that at the end of the day, I realized were actually terrible ideas. But you can only learn these things through trial and error.
Just write and shoot and keep writing and shooting. Every film you make hopefully makes the next one better. And if it doesn't, look at it, learn why it didn't work, and improve on that. Because that's the only way you get better. Then yeah, just shoot shit.
So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to include as much practical information as possible. I really wanted you guys to get a taste of what it was like to make a short film, because at the end of the day, a lot of people just think that making films is glamorous, and it's not that way at all. But it is rewarding, so if you're passionate, I hope this inspired you. A huge thank you to Andrew from the 15-second horror film challenge. Thank you so much. The link to the 15-second horror film challenge is down below. Please check it out if you haven't. It's so worth it and so inspiring. And of course, thank you to Sydney, Jordan, Ken, and Oscar for being in this video. Their socials will be linked down below. Please go check it out and chuck them a follow. I should mention that this video is not sponsored in any way. I just really love the horror community and I like showcasing this kind of stuff, and I thought that you guys might find it helpful. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know you like this kind of weird, strange, different content, and let me know what was the most helpful thing that you learned in this video down below. And you guys should be really excited. We've got another That Scene coming up on Monday, and then after that, 12 Days of Christmas. So a lot of cool content is coming up. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.